I was 19, just finished my first year at a community college out of state, and I was riding high. Got a small scholarship, nothing to brag about, but it felt like I was finally doing something right. I took a Greyhound home, figured my family would be there to pick me up. I texted them the arrival time, 3:30 p.m., and even called my sister, Callie, the day before to confirm. The bus pulls into the station, and I step off, backpack slung over one shoulder, scanning the parking lot for Mom's old minivan. Nothing. Just a few strangers waiting for other passengers, some guy holding a sign for a taxi service. I wait by the benches, check my phone. No texts, no missed calls. I call Mom. No answer. Try Dad. Voicemail. Callie's phone rings out too. I'm standing there, feeling like a kid lost at the mall, trying not to look stupid as people pass by. After 20 minutes, I start pacing near the ticket booth, my bag getting heavier. I call again 5 times, 6. By the 10th call, I'm sitting on a concrete bench, staring at my phone like it's betrayed me. A lady with a stroller glances over, and I swear she's wondering if I got ditched. Finally, after an hour, Callie picks up. Her voice is sharp, like I'm interrupting her. What do you want, Ethan? I say, I'm at the bus station. Where are you guys? She sighs, we're busy. Trevor's got a big thing going on. You know, something worth celebrating. I ask, what's that supposed to mean? She snaps, figure it out. Take a cab or something. Then she hangs up. I'm just sitting there, stunned, when a text from Mom comes through. If you want us to care, try being someone we can be proud of. She ends it with a smiley face, like it's a joke. I stare at that message, the sun beating down, and mutter to myself, all right, I'm done being your doormat. That was the moment I realized they didn't see me, not as a son, not as a brother, just as some guy who didn't measure up. For years later, I turned it all around with a plan that hit them where it hurt. Last night, Dad sent 28 texts, begging me to come home, saying they messed up. I didn't reply. This story's been eating at me, and I've only told my buddy Jake, who just shrugs and says family stuff is messy. But I need to get this out, so here it is. Back to that day at the bus station. I was hyped to be home, thinking maybe Mom would ask about my classes or Dad would crack a beer and talk about the old days. Instead, I'm alone, watching families load up their cars, laughing, arguing about where to grab dinner. I call Trevor, my older brother, the family's golden child. No answer. He's always been the star, baseball hero, charming, the one Dad brags about at the bar. Me? I'm just Ethan, the kid who's got potential, but never delivers, according to them. I try not to let it sting, but it does. After an hour and a half, I give up, call a cab, and spend $35 I don't have to get home. The whole ride, I'm replaying Mom's text, feeling something shift inside me. I'm not mad, not yet, just done. The cab drops me off at the house, and I see the lights on, music spilling out the windows. There's a party going on, and I'm not surprised it's for Trevor. He landed some sales job, nothing fancy, but you'd think he invented the internet the way Mom and Dad are acting. I drag my backpack up the porch steps, ring the doorbell since Dad took my key last year, claiming I kept losing it. He opens the door, beer in hand, and gives me this half smirk. Well, look who decided to show up, he says, no hug, no nothing. I step inside, and it's like I'm invisible. Trevor's holding court in the living room, his buddies laughing, Callie snapping selfies. Mom's in the kitchen, chatting with Trevor's new girlfriend about some recipe. Nobody looks my way. I head to my room, but Trevor's blocking the hallway, talking loud about his latest deal. I try to slip past, and he bumps me with his shoulder, hard. Watch it, Ethan, he says, grinning like it's a game. I mutter, move. He laughs, chill, man, we're busy. I shove past, maybe rougher than I meant, and he pushes me back. My bag hits the floor, books and clothes spilling out. I kneel to pick it up, and not one person helps, not Callie, not Mom, nobody. I hear Mom yell from the kitchen, can someone grab the napkins? But it's not for me. She's talking to Trevor's girlfriend. I stuff my things back in the bag, slam my bedroom door, and sit on the bed, scrolling through old texts I sent to family, stuff about my grades, asking for a ride, little things. All unanswered or dismissed with busy. I kick the wall, leaving a dent, but no one checks on me. Later, I go to the kitchen for water. The party's winding down, Dad's watching football, Trevor's on his phone, Mom's stacking dishes. I ask if there's any food left. Mom shrugs, should have gotten here sooner. I laugh, bitter, and say, yeah, my bad for thinking you'd show up at the station. Dad looks up, says, not everybody gets a trophy for coming home, Ethan. Give us something to cheer for next time. That's when I snap. I slam my glass on the counter, tell him I'm sick of being treated like I don't exist. If Trevor's your only kid, just say it. Dad stands, gets in my face, says, if you don't like it, there's the door. I grab my bag, look him dead in the eye, and say, maybe I'll take it. I walk out, let the screen door swing shut behind me. I crash at Jake's that night, sleep on his lumpy couch. He doesn't get it, just says, family sucks sometimes, man. I nod, but inside, I'm done. Done being their errand boy, their punching bag, their afterthought. That night, I decide I'm not begging for a place in their world anymore. After that night at Jake's, I went back to college, but things didn't magically get better. When summer rolled around, I came home hoping maybe the bus station mess was a one-off. Nope. I walk in from the bus, and Mom's scrolling on her tablet, doesn't even look up. Callie's on the couch, whining about her phone acting up, and when I drop my bag, she just says, "Oh, good, Ethan's here. Fix this." I'm barely through the door, and she's already treating me like tech support. I tell her I'm tired, maybe later. She rolls her eyes, calls me selfish, and stomps off. Trevor's no better. He's always got some new scheme, flipping cars, starting a side hustle, and Mom and Dad eat it up like he's a genius. One night, I'm grabbing a soda, and Trevor's in the dining room with Dad, bragging about a deal he closed. I try to slip by, but Dad stops me. "You could learn a thing or two from your brother, Ethan. He's out there making moves." Trevor smirks, says, "Yeah, step it up, man." I mention I got a grant for next semester, thinking maybe they'll care since it covers my books. Dad just scoffs, grants are for kids who can't make real money. Trevor laughs, and I walk out, feeling smaller than ever. I start avoiding home as much as I can. Got a part-time job at a campus bookstore, started crashing at friends' places. But the family keeps dragging me back when it suits them. Callie needs help with her high school essays, never a thank you. The internet crashes, and Dad blows up my phone until I fix it. Mom asks me to run errands because Trevor's too busy. I do it, but it's like I'm a ghost unless they need something. Then one night, I overhear Mom and Dad talking in the kitchen. I come home late, just to grab some clothes. Mom's saying Callie's dance classes are costing a fortune, and Dad says, we could dip into Ethan's college savings. He's not using much anyway. My stomach drops. I'm in the hallway, frozen, listening as Mom agrees. Trevor's got bigger plans. He'll make it worth it. I want to barge in, yell, but what's the point? They've already decided I'm the spare. Callie's not innocent either. She takes my stuff, headphones, chargers, without asking. When I call her out, she shrugs, says, you don't need it. I take my things back, and she shoves me, screaming for Mom. Mom just says, Ethan, don't fight with your sister. I'm done arguing. I start keeping track of everything, every errand, every bill I chip in for, every time I help Callie or fix something. I save receipts, jot it all down in a notebook. Not sure why, it just feels like I need proof I'm not the deadbeat they think I am. It's petty, but it keeps me sane. By the time my college graduation came around, I was barely going home anymore. I'd moved into a cramped apartment with a buddy from the bookstore job, and I only showed up at the house to grab mail or clothes. I wasn't planning to walk at graduation. Seemed like a hassle, but my friends pushed me, said it's a big deal, take the photos. So I did. I sent Mom, Dad, Callie, and Trevor the details, date, time, location. Even followed up in the family group chat a few days before, just to be sure. Day of. I'm standing outside the auditorium in my cap and gown, watching families hug and snap pictures. I wait, check my phone. Nothing. I call Callie voicemail. Text Mom, you guys coming? She replies, Trevor had a work thing. It's important. I ask, more important than my graduation? She says, don't make this about you, Ethan. Trevor's building a career. I hang up, shove my phone in my pocket, and join my friends for pizza instead. That night, alone in my apartment, I pull out my notebook, the one where I've tracked every favor, every bill I've covered, every time I've bailed them out. I see it clear as day. I've been their safety net, and they don't even notice. My roommate, Mike, catches me staring at the pages and says, man, you gotta start charging them for this. I laugh, but it sticks with me. Next day, I text the family group chat. From now on, my help costs money. No more free rides. Callie fires back, you're so dramatic. Mom says, that's not how family works. I reply, funny, I haven't felt like family in years. Nobody responds after that. Things start breaking down at their house, internet spotty, Callie's laptop crashes, Dad can't get the smart TV to work. They blow up my phone, but I ignore it. Callie texts, my project's due, help me. I say, Google it or pay me. She calls me a jerk. Trevor tries to get me to fix his work presentation. I tell him, ask Dad, he thinks you're the genius. Mom's email gets hacked, and she begs for help. I shrug, say, not my problem. I hear through my cousin, Sarah, that they're telling relatives I've turned lazy, ungrateful. Sarah texts me, your mom's stressed, maybe cut her some slack. I send her my notebook scans, pages of receipts, favors, unpaid help. She just says, wow. Things get tense when Trevor tries to borrow my car without asking. I catch him in the driveway, keys in hand. I say, put him down. He laughs, come on, I've done plenty for you. I ask, like what? He gets mad, tosses the keys at my chest, and storms off. Next day, Dad tries to lecture me, says I'm acting like a kid. I tell him I'm 22, he can't control me. He yells, then get out. So I do. I pack a duffel and leave, no looking back. After I walked out, I didn't look back. I bounced between friends' couches, saving every penny from my bookstore gig. I'd swing by the house only to grab mail, and every time, Callie would try to guilt me. You're breaking Mom's heart, she'd say, like I was the bad guy. I just shrug. Maybe she should have cared when I was stuck at the bus station. Things got real when I started saying no for good. The family group chat lit up one day. Callie's laptop was dead, and she had a big presentation. She tagged me 10 times, begging for help. Dad chimed in, Ethan, Don't be useless, fix it. Trevor added, it's not rocket science. Just do it. I didn't reply. 2 days later, Callie missed her deadline, and she texted me. Thanks a lot, jerk. I shot back, learned to troubleshoot. Mom called, said, you're letting your sister fail. I said, she's got you, doesn't she? That shut her up. I started keeping a digital log. Every time I'd paid a bill, fixed something, or helped Trevor with his big ideas. I backed it up with screenshots, receipts, even texts where they brushed me off. It wasn't just petty, it was my proof I wasn't the slacker they painted me as. One night, Mom tried to say I'd never pulled my weight. I emailed her my log, dates, amounts, everything. She didn't respond. I shared it with my cousin Sarah, who'd always been fair. She called me, said, Ethan, I had no idea they leaned on you like that. I said, yeah, and I got nothing for it. She promised to talk to her mom, my Aunt Linda, about it. Meanwhile, Trevor got a big promotion party, posted all over social media, Mom and Dad beaming like he'd won an Oscar. I wasn't invited, saw it on Callie's Instagram. I commented, nice to see family showing up for someone. Trevor deleted it, texted me to stop embarrassing him. I replied, truth hurts, doesn't it? Things escalated when I announced in the group chat. Any help from me costs $50 an hour. No exceptions. Callie called it a joke. Dad said, you're not that valuable. I said, then don't ask. Sure enough, stuff kept breaking: the router, the printer, Mom's phone syncing issues. They tried to fix it themselves, made it worse. Mom offered $15 to reset the Wi-Fi. I said, $1.50 or nothing. She hung up. I heard from Sarah they were scrambling, and it felt good to watch them squirm for once. The real shift came when I stopped playing their game altogether. I was still on the family phone plan, covering half the bill without even living there. I texted Dad, you owe me for the last 6 months. Pay up or I'm getting my own number. He tried to dodge, said, you use the data, you pay. I said, I haven't been home in a year. Check the logs. He didn't reply, so I switched to my own plan, cut them off. Callie freaked out, said her apps weren't working without my account. I said, not my problem. Then I went through every shared account, streaming services, grocery delivery, even the cloud storage they used for photos. I sent a group message. I'm done paying. Remove me or reimburse me. They ignored it, so I changed all the passwords, locked them out. Callie posted a rant about missing her shows, and I just laughed. Trevor tried to play nice, asked for help with a work contract he didn't understand. I sent him a screenshot of all the times I'd edited his stuff for free, with his thanks nowhere in sight. He called me selfish, said family helps each other. I said, like you helped me at the bus station? He went quiet. I started sharing my side with the extended family. I sent Aunt Linda my log, screenshots, the works. She called Mom out at a family barbecue, said, you've been using Ethan like a servant. Mom brushed it off, said I was exaggerating, but Linda wasn't buying it. Sarah told me the family group chat was a mess after that, with cousins asking questions. Mom and Dad started getting heat, and I didn't feel bad one bit. The best part? Trevor's job hit a snag. His boss called me to verify some project he claimed credit for, one I'd basically written. I told the truth. I did the heavy lifting. Trevor just presented it. He didn't get the bonus he was banking on, and Sarah said he was fuming. Callie's college applications got messy too. She couldn't get her transcripts sorted without my help. She begged, said she'd pay me later. I said, cash up front or good luck. She cried, but I didn't budge. Mom called, said, we didn't realize how much you handled. I didn't answer. Dad showed up at my apartment, tried to push his way in. I blocked the door, said, you don't get to barge into my life now. He yelled, we're family. I said, you made me the outsider first. I shut the door, heart pounding, but I felt free. I thought cutting them off would be the end, but it was just the start of them feeling the weight of what they'd done. Mom and Dad's house became chaos, bills piled up, late fees hit, and they couldn't blame me anymore. Callie's college plan stalled. She missed a scholarship deadline because nobody stepped up to help her navigate the forms. Trevor's side hustle tanked when he couldn't lean on my research or edits. Sarah told me Mom was crying to Aunt Linda, saying they never meant to push me away. Linda wasn't gentle, she said. You left him at a bus station and treated him like hired help. What did you expect? The extended family started siding with me, and that stung them more than anything. I sent one final email to everyone: Mom, Dad, Callie, Trevor, aunts, uncles, cousins. I laid it all out. Years of being ignored, used, pushed aside while Trevor got the spotlight. I attached my log, receipts, text where they dismissed me. I'm not your backup plan anymore, I wrote. Don't call, don't text, unless you're ready to own what you did. Mom tried calling. I let it ring. Callie sent a long text, apologizing, saying she didn't realize how much I'd done. I didn't reply. Trevor left a voicemail, half apologizing, half blaming me for his work mess. I deleted it. Last night, Dad sent 28 texts, one after another, from please, Ethan, we're sorry, to you're tearing us apart, to come home, we'll make it right. I read them all, sitting in my tiny apartment, the one I'd built without them. I thought back to that bus station, the cold bench, the families driving off while I waited for someone who never showed. I wasn't angry anymore, just clear. They'd made their choice, and I'd made mine. I didn't respond to Dad's texts, didn't call back. Instead, I blocked their numbers, one by one. I wasn't out for revenge, not really, just wanted them to live with the consequences of treating me like I didn't matter. Now they're the ones waiting, and I'm not going back. I've got my own life now, my own people, friends who show up, the job that's turning into something real. Sometimes I wonder if I could have done things differently, but then I remember, they had years to see me, and they didn't. This is their mess now, and I'm finally free of it.